What's up, everybody? My name is Vincent. Welcome to Cryptolution, where we talk about everything under the moon, the crypto universe. Today is Tuesday, April 8th. In today's video, I want to share with you the exciting developments that are happening in Bitcoin DeFi. This is absolutely in connection with Dog Bitcoin because right now we have platforms such as Sats Terminal, which is an aggregation and also swap platform that allows people to swap their Bitcoin for Dog instantly. And they recently raised $1.7 million in seed round funding by the help of Coinbase Ventures. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but also other developments such as Odin Fun and their founder Bob Bodley announced that they're soon going to be implementing OG runes that could potentially happen very soon. And also Slingshot says that next week they have something really exciting for runes that could potentially make things really bullish for this economy. So let's cover everything that's happening, not just within Dog Bitcoin and meme coins, but also talk about the overall crypto market. Where do meme coins stand? Are they strong enough considering the market conditions of what's going on with these tariffs and global economic battles? So let's get right into it. Let's not waste any time. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our X platform, and please be careful with any of the scammers down in the comments below. I will never reach out via WhatsApp, Telegram, direct message, or email, so please be careful and invest safely. So guys and girls, let's get right into it. So just like I mentioned in yesterday's video, we're going to experience a lot of boredom, consolidation, and stagnation in the month of April. And then by the beginning of May, hopefully by May 1st, we could see that maybe Bitcoin follows the same trajectory as the M2 global monetary supply. And that shows us that Bitcoin could hit between 100,000 to even as close to 130,000 by June or July. So if we're looking at DOG, which is this blue line, compared to Bitcoin's price, which is this orange line, is pretty much in correlation as of right now. It doesn't mean that meme coins haven't taken a harder hit, because they absolutely have, and so has DOG. So since Bitcoin is taking a slight dip right now, you're going to expect that DOG Bitcoin is going to take a little bit of a harder dip. That's just kind of how meme coins are compared to Bitcoin's price. Bitcoin dominance is very strong. Now Bitcoin is right now at around 77,000. Again, I believe that this can actually hit between 73,000 to 74,000. That's where I see the next support level for Bitcoin. Now, in terms of Bitcoin dominance, it's still dominant. It's actually surpassed the 62% level, but it's kind of seeing this wick, a very large wick. It's not a big candle. So that means this resistance level is very strong, which means that still altcoin season is still in play, which could follow the same trajectory as we saw back here in 2020. So if we see what happens in 2020, aka 2021, then we'll see it reflect repeatedly right over here this year in between June and July. Now, overall, meme coins have not been performing well. As you can see, they're all in the red over the past 7 days, 24 hours, even over the past hour. So right now, DOG used to be at around a 200 ranking, is now at 258. I think this will absolutely change once the cycle and once Bitcoin reverses back to the upside. Now, when will it reverse to the upside? We don't know, because still, Donald Trump is negotiating with multiple countries, over 70 countries, regarding these tariff negotiations. And these are the trade deals, right? But the real battle is between China and the US, not really any of these other smaller countries, in my personal opinion. But regardless of what you think, this is what needs to happen. Donald Trump really wants to get one thing done, and that is to get the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates. And right now, even Anthony Pompliano believes that maybe the Federal Reserve may have to make that emergency rate cut soon, before May in their next meeting. So we don't know if this is actually going to happen, but what's really important is this other side of the story, right? Remember when I mentioned the US versus China? So we know that right now the stock market in China is not performing that great. It's actually one of the lowest that we've seen in years. So right now, what you could expect, and what Arthur Hayes ended up bringing up, is that if not the Fed, meaning if not the Fed is not going to introduce interest rate cuts anytime soon, which we think we know could happen by June, but maybe the People's Bank of China will give us that Yahtzee ingredient. So what does he actually mean by that? Well, in context, this is what I think is the best breakdown by Ben over at Bybit. He says, translation, US versus China tariff war. China will try to lower the RMB to counter the tariff. Historically, whenever RMB drops, a lot of Chinese capital flows into Bitcoin, and that is therefore bullish for Bitcoin's price. And if it's bullish for Bitcoin's price and Bitcoin's price goes up, you already know that every other cryptocurrency is going to go up alongside Bitcoin, especially Dog Bitcoin for that matter. Now you must be wondering, are meme coins even going to have a super cycle? Don't forget one thing. Donald Trump still has a meme coin out there. The fact that he came out with a meme coin is still very bullish for meme coins in general. Even the SEC has considered that meme coins are not security. So that's why the Donald Trump token is still out there, regardless of their supply given to insiders or team allocations. This specific token is just allowing you to understand that the meme coin super cycle is still in effect, but right now it's only delayed. Now, what we also need to zoom out is that what is dominant in the meme coin super cycle. In terms of meme coin type of meme coins, the dog type meme coins, which is this maroon color, that's the most dominant in market cap. So that's why you need to pay attention to dog Bitcoin, because it's a dog, it's cute. You've seen it perform historically in all these other meme coins such as Floki, Bonk, Dog Whiff Hat, even Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. So there's the dog side, but also dog is on Bitcoin, the largest market cap and liquidity pool out there. It's in the $1.5 trillion, while SHIB and also Bonk are in the multi-billions of dollars. Not that much compared to Bitcoin's market cap. Now, I want to share this specific image shared by Killer Tickers, which I really appreciate. Shout out to KT. He says, "This is my meme sentiment indicator. It plots the relative performance over short time frames. Dog, aka Dog of the Moon, which is this pretty much orange yellow line right here, says is way out of the risk curve. This is why we dip and pump harder. Bonk, Sheep, and other big memes did a 90% fall before becoming household names." As I mentioned before, Shiba Inu right now, percentage-wise, is 3.34% of Ethereum's market cap. And Ethereum's market cap is roughly $215 billion. Bonk, which is the number one meme coin, the dog meme coin on Solana, is 1.28% of Solana's market cap. And Solana's market cap is $62 billion. Guess where Dog is at right now? Dog is 0.0076% of Bitcoin's $1.5 trillion market cap. This is why I'm saying it's time to buy Dog right now before 1%. Now let's talk about Bitcoin DeFi. Now back on April 4th, which was just 4 days ago, I shared with you an article shared by Cointelegraph talking about the Bitcoin DeFi surge that may boost Bitcoin's demand. We saw roughly a 2,700% increase over the past year of money funneling into this ecosystem backed by VCs to help fund platforms such as Satflow. So Satflow was one of the very first marketplaces to have backing and also support by Coinbase Ventures, Asymmetric, Robot Ventures, and Variant, but most importantly, Coinbase Ventures. And as you can see, a lot of people are trading Ordinals and runes on this specific platform. But here's the breaking news. This was just announced yesterday. Sats Terminal, which is another swap platform, raised that $1.7 million in pre-seed funding. And this was also co-led by Coinbase Ventures. And this is going to help scale Bitcoin. And it also allows people to trade runes. So this is their platform right now. You can swap your Bitcoin, connect your wallet, whatever it may be. If it's an Xverse wallet, Magic Eden, Leather, OKX, whatever wallet you choose, you can select a specific rune. And it's going to be, for me, Dog on the Moon. So if you swap around 0.1 Bitcoin, you'll get in exchange this amount of Dog in exchange, 6.5 million Dog. So this is amazing to see platforms such as Satflow, Sats Terminal starting to get Bitcoin DeFi in the mainstream media, allowing people to trade easily. Again, there are a ton of people, over 200 million people around the world that own Bitcoin. They're going to want to spend and speculate some of their Bitcoin earnings into specific things within the Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem without having to go through a centralized exchange and swap it out for anything. So now they can go to things like Satsflow and Sats Terminal, or Magic Eden for that matter, or even OKX decentralized wallet, and just swap their Bitcoin instantly. That's the whole point of all of this, and this is why this is very exciting. But another thing I want to share with you is Odin.Fun, because Bob Bodley, who shared it in a recent post, said, "I know everyone is just going to say, yeah, okay, but when OG runes?" Because he shared an update rune in their platform. And he says, "Coming in the next release, my friends. Very excited about it." So yes, we've been waiting for quite a long time. And to be very honest with you, Bob Bodley has been saying over and over, it's coming. We're just days away. And then all of a sudden, months go by and nothing's happening. So hopefully this happens sooner rather than later. But what we can't ignore is that Odin.Fun has a lot of trading volume from the Asia audience. That's really important because right now runes are very popular in America, South America, and some parts of Asia and Europe as well. But what we do know is that BRC20 tokens at the time of this recording are very popular with the Asian audience. But right now, Odin Fun, which introduced their Odin runes, they're really popular right now with the Asia audience. So once Asia has the capability of buying dog on Odin Fun, what do you think is going to happen to dog's price? And not only that, we also have mobile apps which you can download on your Android phone or on your iPhone. Soon, Slingshot is going to allow you to buy runes on their mobile app. And this is something that they expect could launch by next week if everything goes as planned. And this was just announced today. Now, when you're looking at dog Bitcoin's price regarding the charting and analysis, I mean, yes, we're going in a slight downtrend on the MACD that could say maybe we're going back into a seller's market, but these histogram bars are so tiny. That means the selling pressure is so weak. It's not like this. Have you noticed that? It's kind of mimicking something like this. It's very tiny, very small. Now, what's really important is that we have to go to the weekly time frame. This is even going to share with you that I share with you over and over that this is not going anywhere, meaning that this selling pressure is getting weaker and weaker by every single week. So even though you're looking at the price of dog, looking at the market cap of dog in the max pain area, this is where the most generational wealth, I believe in my personal opinion, is going to be gained, because if people have liquidity to buy this right now, all they have to do is hold all the way up to $5 billion, maybe even higher than that, to $10 billion. Remember, you have to think about what is dog's market cap. If it were 1% of Bitcoin's market cap, think about that. That'd be insane. That'd be roughly around $15 billion if Bitcoin's at 1.5, but you know that Bitcoin is going to go back up to $2 trillion and higher. So when you think about dog Bitcoin being 1% of that market cap, is going to be extraordinary. And we aren't even in the 1 year anniversary of dog. Dog is going to reach its 1 year anniversary on April 24th. So this just goes to show you how infant this token is, in the Runes protocol for that matter. So everything in a nutshell, I'm not bearish or bullish. Remember, I talked about that the month of April is going to be very boring. You're only going to see dips or consolidation with dog Bitcoin. But the reason I tell you that truth is because you need to know what's going on. You need to know the truth. You don't need to have hopium all the time. To hear the truth allows you to have the benefit of beating everybody else before the public rushes in. You are early on by watching this video and subscribing to our channel, by understanding and learning why dog Bitcoin at the very moment at 114 million market cap is a huge steal. You know this is going to be in the multi-billions of dollars, this meme coin super cycle and this rune super cycle. We're waiting for all these different platforms to have their different Bitcoin DeFi implementations. We're waiting for the tier 1 centralized exchanges to see that volume to list it for dog. Is going to be a domino effect of crazy euphoric levels, which you have not experienced yet. So I would just want to let you know on a timely basis of what's going on so that you can decide for yourself what the best strategy is. So with that said, if you want to get more updates, you want to stay up to date on our platform, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to join our X platform to receive all of our updates regarding dog Bitcoin. Until then, see you guys and girls next time.